All right, this nice character has ordered 2 copies of Hannah Montana. Thanks for the orders, sir. I actually did say that, Swimming. What's the biggest order of Hannah Montana? Now you're asking the real questions. One character ordered 3 copies of Hannah Montana. One for all of his friends. Oh man, by the way, holy shit. There's trouble brewing, I think. I called our main distributor for brand new games. I think I've said this before, but when you're ordering products from people, you have a 2-factor goal that you need to do. So first off, you need to order as much as possible from the same person. So for example, we have like a new games distributor. You want to order all of your games from them so you can get a lower price because you're buying in a higher bulk. You have a little bit more leverage to lower that price. Now, at the same time, one person, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, but you also do. So you also want to have extra backup distributors in case your main distributor is falling through on you. So in this case, we're kind of in a shitty situation. I called our main distributor today, and just some guy, like usually they have like, a secretary or whatever who picks up, and she's like, oh, hey, good afternoon, how can I direct your call, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, send me this way. I want to place an order. So today I called, and there's just some guy like who sounds like he picked up on speaker, and he's like, hello? I'm like, hi. Can I talk to this person? And they're like, oh, no, they're not here today. I was like, or they're like, oh, I'm the only one here today. I was like, oh, can I place an order with you? He's like, no, I can't do orders. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, maybe call back tomorrow. I'm like, oh, okay. What the fuck do you mean, maybe call back tomorrow? Did you break in there, or like, are you guys all shut down, or what? So, yeah, it sounds kind of bad. So yeah, I'm really hoping that there's not something bad going on. Like, I'm looking at the games that they're reinvesting their cash into, because, their operation is extremely small margins, They have to order games in massive bulk directly from Nintendo, so Nintendo will even talk to them, right? From there, they then need to sell it to, individual buyers, who I think in a lot of cases are buying in very small quantities. I know I order in very small quantities on select games, so I don't think they're making a whole lot of cash per game profit. But anywho, I'm looking at the games they're restocking, and it's just like the lamest shit ever, and it's all like on PS4 too. So I'm like thinking like maybe they're kind of low on cash and they can just only invest in the cheapest shit possible. So I don't know. I hope they're doing okay, because that would really suck. A lot of the other backup distributors of new games that I've had are kind of disappearing, it seems. Okay, this person has also ordered a t-shirt. Thank you very much for the 2-fold order, sir. Oof. Oof. Are your cables and controller licensed or third-party controllers or cables, or both? Both! Do I have a retro games distributor? Such a thing doesn't really exist. I've seen a couple places that attempted to do it. However, they have ridiculous prices. So there was one game store that I believe is completely closed now. And I actually read an article about them. They took out like $1 million loan. And I remember, it's kind of weird. I followed their whole cycle on accident. Who's your game dealer? That's private. So Is DS Koopa dead? It might be down right now, maybe. So I followed like their whole saga. So there was a time where everything I would personally put on eBay for my own collection would instantly sell to this same store. I ended up looking them up because I saw them so many freaking times buying my items. And I ended up looking them up and reading about them. And it turns out they got a literal $1 million loan to do their retro game store. I'm like, what the fuck? So that was their plan, I guess, is just to like have some kind of super dominant online store, which I understand did not work out because they ended up liquidating that stuff to other game stores. So that didn't last forever, though. We ended up buying, oh god, we probably spent $100,000 with them over the course of a year or two. But, you know, retro games aren't really a replenishable supply. Like, how could anyone be a wholesaler of them? So yeah, there is no retro game wholesaler. Our inventory comes from people bringing it into the store, or I seek out stores that are selling their inventory. Stores that, you know, are planning on closing and things like that. I'll just go and buy them all. Let's see here. There we go. Also, when we go to retro gaming conventions, we can go around spending a large amount of cash at once and get a bulk discount. That's something we've relied on. That's something that happens like about 3 times a year, and it's always a big influx of new games and stuff. Wait, so does it make sense to actually keep your games for years and years after you're done with them, for them to go up in value? No, I always say do not invest in video games. I think it's a very poor choice of investment, and in fact, any kind of physical item I think is a poor choice of investment. Even things like gold. And it's not for any complicated reason. It's simply because your house can burn down. Someone can break into your house and steal all your shit. Investing in physical items like that is just simply much more risky and much more of a pain in the butt than, say, just getting some fucking total market. My brain completely stopped working. Some S&P 500 shares. Why do I do it then? The passion. I kind of follow the market instead of trying to anticipate it. So, for example, you can just get insurance, sure. So, for example, I don't buy a bunch of games speculating that the game will go up in price. The number one example I can remember of people doing so was with the Wii U and Breath of the Wild. I remember people saying, "Oh man, this is like the last game on the Wii U. It's a Zelda game. I'm going to keep it sealed. I'm going to hold it forever, and it's going to be worth $1 million in the future." I heard like about 1 million people say that. I don't know how that's going to shake out in the future. They might be totally right, but it's like, well, I don't know. Take that $60 and put it in the stock market. How about that? Hey, have a good night, Uber Noob! Always nice to see you, pal. I'll see you around. And instead of me saying, buying games and anticipating their value in the future, it's just me buying games and selling them now. You know what I mean? I kind of follow the market. So if the price of games go up, it very rarely benefits us, immediately, right? So, let's say all of a sudden, all of a sudden Pokemon is worth double. Oh, awesome. Our current copies of Pokemon have doubled in value. But all the new copies of Pokemon that come in now have to be purchased for more money. So you're not necessarily, making a whole bunch more, more expensive games require us to purchase them for, more expensive costs. So, again, so much of it is about, sustainability as opposed to, quick buck. You know what I mean? Give me all your Wario stuff. Sorry, sir. All I have are Hannah Montana things. We're almost out of the Hannah Montanas, though, it looks like. Well, I mean, we are technically out of them at the moment, but... Let's see here. I wish we had some more Wario stuff. Wario's cool. I think we might even be out of Wario plushies right now. Is there a story with the several copies of Hannah Montana? Well, yeah, I found a listing on eBay that was quite cheap for 100 copies of Hannah Montana, and I said, you know what, sir, you've got yourself a deal. Did you miss your packing? I don't know. I haven't been really reading the names. Your name is Gatton Arbuckle, right? So, let's see. I don't know if...